from gold-covered palaces to steel empires, from ancient thrones to modern rockets. Throughout history, there have been a few, just a few, who held more power, more land, and more wealth than entire nations. Some ruled with armies, others built their empires from ideas. They shaped borders, economies, even civilizations. Their fortunes were so vast that modern money can barely measure them. Kings, emperors, conquerors, and the visionaries who turned dreams into dynasties. These are not just the richest people who ever lived. They are the architects of history itself. This is BrainBlow, and these are the top 10 richest people in world history. Number 10. Andrew Carnegie. Approximately $372 billion US. He was born into poverty, a boy from Scotland who worked in factories for pennies a day. But Andrew Carnegie had something greater than wealth: vision. He saw the future in steel. By building railroads, bridges, and cities, he created the backbone of modern America. His company, Carnegie Steel, made him one of the richest men in the world, worth the equivalent of hundreds of billions today. Yet, at the height of his power, he gave it all away. He built over 2,500 libraries, universities, and foundations, believing that true wealth should uplift the world, not dominate it. Andrew Carnegie, the man who turned steel into gold, and gold into legacy. Number 9. Elon Musk. Approximately $469 billion US. He builds rockets, cars, and dreams. Elon Musk isn't just a billionaire, he's an architect of the future. From PayPal to Tesla, from Neuralink to SpaceX, his companies push the limits of what's possible. One moment, he's changing how we drive. The next, how humanity will reach the stars. His fortune rises and falls with the markets, but his vision remains untouchable. Some call him reckless. Others call him a genius. But whether he succeeds or fails, he's already done what no one else dared. He turned science fiction into business. Elon Musk, the man who bets his fortune on tomorrow. Number 8. Catherine the Great. Approximately $1.5 trillion US. She wasn't born to rule, she took the throne by force. Catherine the Great transformed Russia from a frozen kingdom into a European superpower. She built cities, reformed education, and expanded her empire across continents. Her palaces overflowed with art, gold, and diamonds. Her wealth rivaled any emperor alive. But her true strength wasn't in treasure, it was in control. Catherine ruled with elegance and iron will, proving that no crown was too heavy for a woman to wear. She conquered not through war, but through brilliance. An empress, a reformer, and the richest woman in history, Catherine the Great still reigns in legend. Number 7. Augustus Caesar. Approximately $4.6 trillion US, the first emperor of Rome, and the man who turned chaos into empire. After centuries of civil war, Augustus brought peace and prosperity to the Roman world. He controlled armies, gold, and trade routes that spanned continents. Under his rule, Rome produced 1/4 of the world's wealth. Temples, palaces, and cities rose in his name. He wasn't just rich, he was the living symbol of order and power. When he said, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble," he wasn't exaggerating. Augustus Caesar, the ruler who turned fortune into eternity. Number 6. Joseph Stalin. Approximately $7.5 trillion US. He didn't inherit wealth, he seized it. As the absolute ruler of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin controlled one of the largest economies in history. Every factory, every field, every life belonged to him. Through terror and industrial might, he built a global superpower. By GDP share, his control equaled trillions. But at a cost beyond comprehension, millions perished under his regime. To the world, he was a monster. To his nation, a godlike figure. Joseph Stalin, a man who proved that wealth without compassion is nothing but power turned to darkness. Number 5. Empress Wu Zetian. approximately 16 trillion US dollars. In ancient China, power belonged to men, but Wu Zetian changed everything. From a humble concubine, she rose to become the only female emperor in Chinese history. She ruled the Tang dynasty at its golden age, when China was the richest and most advanced nation on earth. Under her rule, the empire expanded, art and science flourished, and the treasury overflowed with gold. She was feared, respected, and unforgettable. A woman who ruled with wisdom and, when needed, with fire. Empress Wu, the Dragon Throne's only queen.
Number 4. Akbar I, approximately 21 trillion US dollars. In the 16th century, India was the jewel of the world, and Akbar the Great was its crown. As emperor of the Mughal Empire, he ruled over 1/4 of humanity. His lands overflowed with gold, spices, and silk. But Akbar's genius wasn't just wealth, it was unity. He connected diverse religions, promoted tolerance, and built one of history's most prosperous civilizations. His empire produced unimaginable riches, and his influence reached beyond trade, into art, architecture, and philosophy. Akbar I, the emperor whose power was measured not only in gold, but in greatness.
Number 3. Emperor Shenzong, approximately 30 trillion US dollars. During the Song dynasty, China became the richest nation on earth, and Emperor Shenzong stood at its center. He ruled a world powered by invention, gunpowder, paper money, and global trade. His empire controlled nearly 1/3 of the world's wealth. Every port, every merchant, every coin passed through his domain. He reformed taxes, built vast cities, and expanded knowledge. Under his reign, China became a nation of thinkers and traders, centuries ahead of its time. Emperor Shenzong, the ruler of prosperity and the emperor of innovation.
Number 2. Genghis Khan, approximately 120 trillion US dollars, estimated. He began as a poor nomad on the steppes and became the most powerful man in history. Genghis Khan built the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen. From China to Europe, his armies conquered everything in their path. He controlled the Silk Road, the lifeline of global trade. Gold, silver, silk, and spices flowed through his empire like rivers. But Genghis didn't hoard wealth. He commanded it. He distributed treasure to his generals, united tribes, and rewrote the world map. His fortune can't be measured in numbers, only in nations. Genghis Khan, the conqueror of wealth, land, and time itself.
Number 1. Mansa Musa, wealth, incomprehensible king of kings, ruler of the Mali Empire, and the richest man who ever lived. Mansa Musa's lands held half of the world's gold supply. When he journeyed to Mecca in 1324, his generosity was so vast it crashed the economy of Egypt for years. He built cities of gold, universities of knowledge, and mosques that still stand centuries later. He was a man of faith, power, and unimaginable prosperity. Historians tried to estimate his fortune, but numbers fail to capture it. Because Mansa Musa's wealth wasn't just in gold, it was in legacy. The man whose generosity changed the world, forever. Wealth fades, empires fall, but greatness never dies. From steel to silk, from gold to glory, these are the people who defined power itself. They remind us that fortune may be measured in coins, but legacy is measured in time. This was BrainBlow, where history's richest stories never lose their value.